So what we're going to do now is we're going to kind of compare and confirm. And we'll compare how you answered for your choices on the I am a good student, and then with your check marks. And then I'll share with you how you scored on the questionnaire.
Okay.
So if you want, just go ahead and circle your choice. Was it the icon with the many fish or the singular fish? And if you don't recall, you're more than welcome to go back and look to see what you checked.
Great.
What did you pick for that one?
It was the many fish.
Okay, so go ahead and circle that. And then was it the icon with the bug or the icon with the trees?
Icon with the trees.
Okay, go ahead. And was it puzzles or people?
It was people.
And the straight lines or the varied lines?
Varied lines.
Okay. And so then when we looked at the characteristics and you did the check marks, did you check mark a preference for extroversion or for introversion?
For extroversion.
Okay, and again, if you want to double check, you can look back and see where was your check mark.
Yeah, extroversion.
Okay, so circle that. And was it for sensing or intuition?
It was for intuition.
Okay. And for thinking or feeling?
Feeling.
Okay. And for judging or perceiving?
Perceiving.
Okay. So let's see how you scored on the indicator from the questions.
Okay.
So this says that when you answered the questionnaire, you chose extroversion as your preference, and at 77%, so pretty much consistent. Yeah. So if you'll circle extroversion for us. When you were looking at sensing and intuition, you were very attracted to the sensing answers on the questionnaire, so we would circle sensing for this one. When you looked at thinking or feeling, you were very attracted to the thinking answers on the questionnaire, so it would be thinking. And when you were looking at judging and perceiving, you were very attracted to the judging answers more than the perceiving answers. So we have some differences here, don't we?
Yeah.
Before we go forward, let's see if we can analyze those differences and come up with something that makes sense for you.
Okay.
On this EI scale, looking at those critical differences between extroverts and introverts, do you recall any of those?
I think I remember one being when you're new, you have like a lot of new classmates and new peers. Do you talk first or do you wait for someone else to talk?
Oh, that was one of the questions, wasn't it? Yeah. And you have a consistency here. You chose extroversion with the I am a good student. You chose it with the descriptions, and you chose it on the questionnaire.
Yeah.
So do you feel comfortable saying that extroversion is an accurate description for you?
Absolutely.
Okay.
I think I've said I'm an extrovert rather than an introvert for a long time.
Okay, so that would be of terms that you have known. If you've heard the terms in your past, more likely you've heard them from a different definition.
Yeah.
Because there are different definitions by different theoreticians.
Yeah, definitely.
But this book will tell you Jung's description of those differences. So if you're comfortable with extroversion, let's go ahead and put an E there to indicate that that's your preference. Okay. When we look at the next difference for sensing and intuition, you chose intuition on the I am a good student. You chose intuition on the descriptions, but you chose sensing when you were answering the questions. So your choice now would be, you have several options. One would be to say, when I listen to the descriptions, I think that intuition is more accurate for me.
Yeah.
Or you can say, I feel pulled between the two of them and I'm not sure yet, and I don't feel comfortable deciding one way or the other. Do you feel like you have enough information to make that choice now, or would you rather delay and wait and do that another time?
I think I have enough information.
Okay.
I think it was after hearing what really makes up each category, like what really makes up the intuition, that I've realized that that is what I use. And I think with the test on the computer, it was certain scenarios that I might have acted differently in.
Okay, so keeping those scenarios in mind impacted your responses, but you feel very comfortable that intuition is accurate for you?
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead and put the N for intuition then. Because you really have your whole lifetime to decide.
Yeah.
You don't have to do it today. If you want to take your time, you feel free to do that. On the third set, you had a choice of feeling on the I am a good student, feeling on the descriptions, but thinking on the questionnaire. So we have those two possibilities again. You can say, I'm still not sure which one is accurate for me, or you can say, based on what you've taught me today, I feel comfortable choosing this one over that one.
And I think for that one, I'm still just not comfortable, because there was definitely things from both thinking and feeling that sounded like me, so I just don't think I know yet.
Okay, and that's perfect. So we can have a choice of putting T/F, meaning I'm still deciding between
Yeah.
those two, or a question mark to say I'm not sure yet, whichever way
Yeah.
you'd like to go.
Do a question mark.
Okay. All right, on the third pairing, for judging and perceiving, you chose perceiving when you did I'm a good student, you chose perceiving on the descriptions, and you chose judging when you answered the questions. So we have our choice again
Yeah.
of making a selection or saying, no, I'm still being pulled between the characteristics. Do you feel like you have a comfortable idea of the difference between perceiving characteristics and judging characteristics, or would you like to review those?
I think I have a pretty good idea, and I
Okay.
think I definitely think of myself as using the perceiving.
Okay, so you don't need to hesitate, you're ready to go with perceiving?
I think so.
Perfect. Then go ahead and put a P there. Okay, so this would say that you believe you have a preference for intuition, extroversion, perceiving, but you're still deciding about thinking and feeling.
Yeah.
Okay. When we look at your report, it's going to tell us in the beginning of your report some of those same basic pieces of information that you've already had about what we do with it and what personality type is, and those terms of your strengths and your stretches and how those can help you. To remember that everybody can be smart, everybody can make mistakes, and everybody can do a good job, but that you're in charge of yourself. And the more you understand about yourself, the more you can manage yourself when you have to do jobs that are not your natural strength. So these characteristics are then similar to the ones we just read, so we're not going to go over these again. And what we do here is we have a spot on the report that says these are how the questionnaire results are reported, but you confirm what you think is accurate for you by circling the letters that you think you would confirm as correct. So in this case, you're saying that you're confirming E, N, and P, and you can just put a question mark out here.
Okay.
So do you want to go ahead and circle those letters?
Yeah.
Like I said, you have a lifetime to decide.
Yeah.
So no rush at all. So what we would do now typically for you is these strengths and stretches are specific to the combination of these four letters. And those four letters don't match you anymore. So we call this your reported type, but we can generate another copy called your verified type. And we can do that for you before you leave if you want. That says specifically which one of these are your true strengths and your true stretches. And then the rest of the report would be perhaps more accurate for you.
Yeah.
At this time, probably some of the bullets would be right, but not all of them.
Okay.
So if you don't mind, we'll go ahead and generate that other report and talk with you about that, okay?
Okay.
Let's look at your book for a moment, if you don't mind. So once you know your four letters of type, it says if you're going to make a good decision, any good decision that you make actually has to use both your strength side and your stretch side. So that if you're going to truly think wisely, you're going to have to ask questions that go with sensing, with intuition, with thinking, and with feeling. And so this page gives you samples of questions that you might challenge yourself with if you were trying to use all 4 preferences before you reacted. Okay? So that's just for future reference. Most of our students who take this at your age and up to age 18 typically are looking for, how can this information help me with careers?
Mm-hmm.
Now, you seem to be very comfortable with your career choice at this time. You might find experiences happen that affect you, and you want to look at other options.
Yeah.
So these few pages would help them say, what are some possible career fields that I might select from? And then it would say to me, by type, what kinds of activities are more likely attractive to people who share my preferences? So you had E, N, and P, right?
Yes.
So let's go ahead just for one that says E, N, and P. If you go to page 30, it has both ENFP and ENTP, which is nice. And it says that both of those, and you can look at them, would be to say, what does your type tend to prefer work tasks? So it doesn't tell me what job I would do, but the kinds of things an ENFP might be attracted to are things that allow you to work with a wide network of people, let you enjoy a range of new experiences on a job, contribute to the betterment of society in some way, draw on your ability to generate enthusiasm in others, and focus on new and innovative ways to help others. And if it's ENTP is your preference, people with that preference tend to be attracted to work tasks that say, deal with complex data, look for innovative ways to improve the system, encourage change for improvement, allow you to design new projects, and provide an opportunity to work independently as needed. So it starts with telling you what kind of tasks might be attractive, and then based on some previous data, what are some occupations that type has been attracted to. But listen carefully to this comment. Because you're attracted to the field doesn't mean you'll be any good at it. Okay? It means those kinds of tasks resonate with your preferences, but you still need the specific skills required for each of those fields in order to be effective in that field. And sometimes people will make the mistake and think, oh, because that's my preference, I'm going to be good at it.
Yep.
It means you're going to like the tasks associated with that field, but you do have to gain some skills in order to be effective with it. But then they also tell us what types of occupations have been less attractive to people with those preferences. That does not mean you wouldn't be good at that job. I'll give you an example. When my husband graduated from engineering school, he graduated with a friend who was ENFP. And engineering is not a field that is typically attractive to people with that preference.
Yeah.
And they used to laugh and say, Tom, I don't see you sitting behind a desk looking at diagrams and schemes and things. What is it? And he just said, but I love electrical engineering. So he graduates, he gets his degree, they all go get jobs, and Tom goes and gets a job where he is now sales representative for a technical company, and he is to travel to Russia and Asia explaining the product. And for him to get that job, he had to have an engineering degree. So my point is, when you find a field that you love, like acting, how you exercise your talents within that field may be specific. And even though that field may not have been attractive to people with your preferences, you can still be very successful in that field if you know yourself well enough to know how you would use your talents. Okay?
Awesome.
Alrighty. So what we'll do is we'll generate that verified report for you and let you go ahead and take this. This one includes all of them, so you can have a chance to see what other types might be.
Okay.
And we want you to walk away with the mindset that says, here's what is really cool about me, but there's some cool stuff about other people that are normal differences that I might have found annoying at one time, but really are just their natural way of working their way through the world. If you had to summarize and say 2 or 3 characteristics that you've seen about yourself today that you would want the world to remember about you, What might they be?
I think that I enjoy having fun, that I like being around people, and the third one, I'm just not quite sure.
All right. You want to leave that window open for more possibilities, huh?
There you go.
Well, it's been a pleasure talking with you today. Thank you so much for spending your afternoon here.
Yeah.
If you have further questions after you get your verified report and you have time to read more if you wish, you're always welcome to call back and we'll see if we can't help answer your questions.
All right.
But meanwhile, good luck exploring life in the world and have a great time while you develop all those talents that seem to be bubbling up from within you.
Thank you.
It's nice to meet you, Paxton.
Nice to meet you too.
Take care.
Thanks.